everybody. Welcome to Drunken Housewife Reviews after a little bit of a sabbatical. I'm Sarah, the Drunken Housewife,
And I'm her husband slash host, Ian, and I try to keep her on the rails best I can.
and that is a full-time job. We are here with Michael Philip Edwards,
Yes.
who is actor, director, producer, writer. What other hats do you wear? All around
That
cool guy.
Yeah.
wow, that's like a long list. The directors in there as well, and it's I think for some reason I'm crazy, Gemini. I guess I think of it as one thing, but yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah, and I mean you have just as many awards to your name and things like that. Let me see. Like I said, I've got my list here. BBC Radio Play for Runt got a Sony Gold Medal for Best Playwright.
Yes,
LA
yes.
LA Stage Raw Awards, you were nominated.
Mhm.
Um, the first Black writer performer for the Scotsman Fringe Festival. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Very
Um,
2000,
cool.
a while ago, but yes.
yeah, that's just a few of them.
Hmm.
My hands started cramping writing out all your accolades and awards. The one that he's excited about is the Toronto Second City. You were part of that.
You know that, Ian?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
very familiar. I'm a very big comedy guy, especially with history of Second City, Saturday Night Live, and Kids in the Hall, and all those things that are tied in under that umbrella of Second City that is involved with. So that's very cool.
You it's funny because I was a teenager in that world.
Oh,
Um,
really? Wow.
Oh my gosh, they abused me there. It was not literally because because it was pure. It was pure. But I mean, it's early '80s, early to mid '80s, and
Yes.
Wow.
I was doing improv. I just was addicted to it at school, and I went to a Second City show and said, "I'm studying here. I'm
Oh,
young."
wow. Yes.
Yes.
Mike Myers wasn't a star yet. He was performing there. And I thought before he was famous, I thought he was a god. I was like, well, this guy is doing cartwheels on stage around everybody. Like he just, that whole improv
He
thing,
got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
they stop time to think of the next thing. They literally seem like they're stopping time
Oh, yeah.
because so I was like, how do you do that? And so it kind of opened the street world of what this art is rather than the conservatory and all of that. It was hard. It
Sure.
was anyway.
Oh yeah, well, no, no, we love hearing these
Oh
stories. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, it's awesome. It's, especially I had read and also watched Kids in the Hall a
Yes,
lot.
yes.
They're the like major influences on me and things that I do creatively as well. So that just to be and have a foot in just seeing all that's going on and being a part of it, that's amazing to me. It's wonderful.
I call it Gen X creativity,
Yes. Yes.
which we say less about Gen X creativity. It's we don't talk about Gen X creativity. we
Yes.
It's
just
oh
we just
yeah.
do.
Especially that do-it-yourself ethic as far as like just getting up there and just doing it until it works out the way you want it to.
You know what someone said? Heard what you're just receiving? Someone said, because I used to think I was irresponsible uh, in the sense of, because when you get good, you don't need to warm up. Once you get warmed up, you can astound yourself with improv. Like,
Oh
what did I
yeah.
just say? A long time. And
Yeah.
so it warms up. And it's what I found out. Someone told me when I was working on a film because I felt like there was a lot of developed from improv and then structured. Someone said, "Do you understand how many structures you're being obedient to by doing improv?" And I didn't. I never thought of it. I always thought it was,
Sure.
Yeah.
you are. There's so much to it that you forget and just do.
Yeah,
That's
I think that improv in that sense is where you're really in the moment of what you're doing, and you're not real. It's not so much muscle memory as much as just letting it all come out.
Nice. Agreed. Agreed. And that's a place as a writer, it's crucial. If I'm I'm going to be funny with this way. I will be brilliant today. I will write the story I have in my head, and everyone will laugh. It's
Yeah, I think one it's weird to say one of the funniest lines in Stephen King's The Shining. It's weird to say funny line in The Shining, but when Wendy is like, "You just need to get back in the habit of writing." And he looks at her, he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I need to
all I
do
need
is
to
just get
do.
back in the habit." You're right.
cut the jack.
And it's like I know so many writers that I just when she said that, I'm just like, oh Jesus, what?
I think they all wanted to
No,
strangle her there at
Yeah,
that point.
I
Yeah.
think every person who has ever done, writing in that moment was just like that bitch.
I am 5 years. My partner is a writer. We don't mess with each other. we watch. It's been 5 years. We don't say that. Did you write today? How many
Yes,
pages?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Anyway.
yes, yes. I have a friend that she is also an artist.
Yeah.
And one of the things she does with her rough drafts, she prints them all out, but then she cuts them up and puts them into her artwork. And I'm like, is that like cathartic for you to like, because if you look at some of her artwork, like in the trees, you can see words from her rough drafts of her books and stuff like that. And
Really?
yeah, and
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed media of layering the drawings on top of the words and putting them in strategically different places to give it a little give it
yeah, it's
something
like the
extra.
castle may
Yes.
be made out of, you know, a cutout part of a rough draft, and you can actually like see, the words from the rough drafts or the leaves on the trees or the rough draft, or she has bunnies in a lot of her artwork and the bunny is made out of a part of the rough draft. And I'm like, as a writer, it must be cathartic to be like, this is the rough draft and I am done with this rough draft and I'm going to cut it up now and
Yeah.
turn it into something pretty.
Even
So
after this, I'm going to chase the genius of that. That hits me in a
Yes.
way. There's something to that I'm going to chase. Thank you for that.
yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. I like I said, I don't know if that would be cathartic. I mean, Christmas decorations, some of her Christmas decorations that
There
she
you go.
makes
Yeah.
are pieces of her rough drafts. And I'm like, that just must be her catharsis is I am done with this draft. I've done everything I can to it. I have moved on from that to this draft of it. And that's a completely different animal. So I'm going to cut this up because I'm done with it. And it's just,
Brilliant.
yeah, I know way too many talented people. And then there's me. I just I'm along for the ride.
You know what? I'm going to come. How dare you? And this is because of the language I speak. If you recognize genius, guess what? Look at yourself. But genius is all around you, but you can't see it. And then you see it. It's because you see yourself. Said some spiritualists, but it's. I'm complimenting you at the end of this, is what I'm saying. But I've come at this age, I guess, to go like when someone pays me a compliment, I go, "Wow, they can see that. What's their story?" Rather than, "Oh, thank you." I go, "They can see."
Yes.
Yes.
I totally
There's
get
something
that.
something to that. I wouldn't, but so tipping my hat to you,
Well,
even with
thank you.
that, passing that. Thank you.
Thank you. I know one of the things when this interview was being set up, because I love horror movies, and I heard a rumor that you are working on a horror movie called The Watsons.
I am working on a horror movie called The Watsons. That's what's coming down now,
Yes.
and I feel like not keeping it a secret for secret reasons, but for what the heck am I doing? In the sense of
Yeah.
the with what happened, like that writer performer at Edinburgh thing. I learned a lot. It's again like learning. My mother warned me. She goes, "Remember in life, your favorite thing to do is learn." And I thought that's corny, and she ends up being right because you can learn from your own writing, you learn from others' writing, you just learn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And the piece was about my fear, but it was about idiosyncratic fear that terrifies me. It's like if you fear butterflies and you go to bed and have a nightmare about butterflies, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It's the terror you feel, not the
Yes.
subject of it.
Yes.
And so that
Yes.
was, and that it's that. And so this one is a horror film. I've written a few horror films. That A24 thing, I like what they're doing. They're stealing from The Shining, that film you mentioned. I feel like they're stealing, all of them are stealing from The Shining.
Yes.
Very impressionistic, very poor. But they just show a shot and then something eventually happens. What am I saying? With Watson's fear of woman
Okay.
is what I'm exploring, and fear of the strength of woman, and then sort of the fear of men too. It's like it's a man versus woman type thing. Bank robbers. The plot is a very normal plot, heist film. These guys are being transported to Northern Cali, or they're bank robbers, they're brothers, and they've planned their escape. Their brother that's on the outside has helped them. One of the sheriffs that's transporting them is in on it, and it looks like a heist film. But they escape in Central California and have to walk across fields to a podunk town to hide out to meet their brother. And if you've ever been to Central California, it's weird. It's just number one, Lompoc and all these prisons, they let people out and they can't go and get licenses or whatever in the big cities. So that's your guy serving coffee, and that's your guy carpet. So stuff happens, and it's in a sunny day. So there's a lot of strong people in little towns in Central California, and then there's people hiding. And so I had these 300,000-year-old Amazonian women tribe, which reportedly did form California. Very strong demon women hiding, looking normal in the hills. And these men meet them. These hard men meet these hard women, and the men are strong because they're ready to do anything, and the women are stronger.
Okay, I am intrigued. I am truly intrigued.
That's what happens. It's a creepy, freaky, and then it gets terrifying after you laugh a little bit. So it's
okay.
Second City full circle, Ian.
There we go. That sounds like
definitely on the side of the feminist bent, in as much as that with them being stronger. I like that. I'm very interested in that. Because I'm like I said, I'm all about like the feminist bent, where you're not seeing it coming, and then it's almost like in Predator, where they find the predator, but they're finding the women that are the strong women, and they weren't expecting that. So I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I grew up with a strong woman who was from my mother, and who just always surprised me, even to date. Even at her age now, she's like the black version of Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies. She's I'm here. What happened? It's just the whole ride. And so you watch patriarchy juxtaposed to
Yes.
And so it makes it fun to write the secret of how don't ever piss a woman off and have her tell her all her truth about you, ever.
Yeah, I think you are kind of in tune with that one, aren't you, honey?
A little bit.
Yeah, my dad, we kind of joke in our family, we are very strong women oriented. And my dad used to pull any man marrying in aside and say, okay, now that you're married in, here's the rules to live by. Your job from now on is to sit and await instruction. The only thing that can bring down a Riggs woman is another Riggs woman. but you're never going to be bored the rest of your life.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah. And every once in a while I will do something and I'll look at him and I'm like, what did Dad promise you? And he's like,
Never
that
bored.
I would never be bored. And I'm like, I'm just holding up my end of the bargain. Just
Thank you.
holding up.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. That's like, coming to school. That's wisdom. I have something called a truth bone, where I don't even, I don't have to think about it. I go, what she just said is true. Just listen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
I concur. I concur too. Yes.
Yeah. My dad once said the only thing he fears is when all of us join against one person because that person's done. So if you have all of the women in the family deciding that this one person has wronged somebody in the family or somebody they care about, that
Oh,
person's
wow.
in trouble.
That's a wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have conversations with humble pie
Yeah.
and a little begging, one at a time, maybe.
Yeah. It hasn't happened often, but the couple of times that I've been a part of it, at the end of it, it's like, oh God, did we just do that? Wow. Okay. Cool. Move on. Yeah. It's like it's
One of the things I was wanting to ask, which I'm interested in, is the Black Panthers of World War II.
yes, we were talking about that.
Yes. Well,
That
how did that come to be, as far as like the project?
it's funny. I was approached by the studio. It's funny. This is the story I see, because I was approached so randomly, saying, you were referred, and it was a friend of mine named Lee Davis, who's a writer, and he said, I'm doing a documentary in New York. These people approached me. Would you pick up the assignment for me? And I said, okay. So then they sent me an article about the 761st Tank Battalion of at the end of the war, Patton's Panthers.
Mhm.
And I read the article, I read the center character, and was just moved. What I was moved by in writing, this was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I was moved by, the way the world is moving. It's like I didn't want to write another, racist overcome story.
Yeah.
It's like, what's happening? I get it, but I didn't. That'd be a chore, in the sense of racism is bad. So what I saw from the story is, like, Patton himself. These men had no time for racism, though there was racism. They said, "Do you see that? You see Hitler? Do you see the time?" Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And though the men underneath them, the 87th that they were working with, were like, "We don't want to work with these black tankers," the way they responded, the way the 761st responded was, "For real? We haven't got time." And they just muscled up and did things, sacrificed on it. And then eventually everyone came together. The 87th went, "Oh, you're right. We don't have time, brothers."
Yeah.
And that thing that you hear that vets get more than, the layman gets, is that brotherhood. So it was that stepping into brotherhood
Yeah.
that elevates. It gives hope, because it's like, whatever the ugly state is, we just energetically rise to, oh, that doesn't matter. We have to do this. And that always, and so I'm excited to write it and develop that plot, in that. And that's what the Black Panthers is. It's it was so fun to direct. Asylum is they're the Sharknado people.
Okay.
So as a
Interesting
director,
that they went, yeah.
and I was like, "What are you doing?" The whole ride I was going, and funny, the production designer was saying, at some point there's going to be some monster running around here, right? Like,
Yeah.
when does
Here comes the tank into a Sharknado.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They gave me full right. They gave me full freedom. Every time there was notes, it was take it deeper into the integrity. And because that activated, and then they gave me 6 days to shoot it with tanks, everything.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny because I became Patton. Ironically, I felt like I was channeling somebody, because I'm a Jamaican man, and I can get mad without getting mad, like not personally. It's like, what color are the curtains? Put it over there. Like not everyone's smiling because they're going, oh, he's the reason we're going to get this day done. And then tears too, because when you see the men sitting on the tanks, you could see it's like, oh, these guys went through that, or they're cold, and it's like, and so there was infecting the cast and crew was the job before the first day with we're not going to fail. So it's like becoming the energy of what the tanks
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
And everybody, so this is my way of saying everybody on that crew and cast unified like I've never seen before, in the sense of we got 2 takes. We got 1 or 2 takes and got to lock it in. He's not going to go, I think your soul is doing this. It's like, do you get it?
Yeah.
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 And that was like one of the best 6 days. Like the studio's response to it was very strong. I think they were surprised with the unified voice.
Yeah.
Because everyone dropped. David Chikachi from Baywatch, he came in the first day, had a relaxed attitude, but was good. And then the second day, he just was Shakespeare up there, man. He had 3 speeches and all memory. Like, it was just so
sweet.
I'm so proud of that casting. And so I'm glad it's doing well. I'm glad they've made their money back. I'm glad it's on Apple TV and it's getting great reviews. So, the comments and whatnot. So I'm very and it's done and it's out there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm back to, with Watson's, I'm back to my speed, which is my question I think I'm asking as an artist is, do you know what you're afraid of? How about this? And so it's succubus. I know a shout out to Kira Willoughby, the Bedford International Film Festival in Virginia. That's my producer on it. And and I see her seeing it. I see her seeing, because it's succubus. Succubi is the entity.
Yeah.
And women who, and they're supposed to be in our dreams, but for some reason I'm switching it where they've materialized physically and living in. And don't let them touch you.
Yeah.
So and they get mad and they can just tear you apart. And so it's an exploration in the subtleties of fear and the obvious horror genre of fear.
Sure.
And fun for some reason.
I mean, I think like some of our favorite horror movies have always had just like that little element, like those little moments where you can chuckle a little, where you're like, it holds you in like some horror movies, like they hold you at this level and they don't give you any relief, and you're just like, by the time it's over, you're exhausted. But I do love the horror movies where you've got that little okay, and then they go back up.
Well, yeah,
and then they come
roller coaster.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, I've got my relief for a minute. I've had my little chuckle, but then it's like boop, back up. And those are the ones I love the most, where it's like you've got that little moment of you're chuckling, something's funny, but then it's like, back to the horror.
When you're terrified, I mean, that release, per you're saying that, because the horror genre you got to keep is something's hiding in the woods and that can attack at any time.
Yes.
So that's the whole. It's going to do its thing. It's out there or established. Now, what was that? I don't know. Maybe it was your mama. Laugh.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's because that's what humans do.
Exactly. Yes. Because I know we because our daughter is special needs, and we have had some really stressful moments where we find some deep dark humor that because we're like, if we don't laugh right now, we're probably going to go insane.
Yeah.
So you have to find, even if it's deep dark weird humor, you've got to find it to have that little stress release. And you're right, that's what humans do. You've got to find that little. We've been held at this stress level and we need a minute. We just need a quick second to chuckle at something. So yeah.
So once more into the breach or whatever. It's strength. I see it as your characters are strong if they have that. That's what we in the 80s. I'm an 80s guy, so when Bruce Willis in Die Hard was just the best thing that ever happened.
Yes.
Looking at You know, in a sense of he's quipping while he's going through hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, that's us. You know, so it's that toughness. You know, if you don't get it, I'm team Gen X.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I mean,
team.
we are
Yeah.
so
We're with you. Oh
yeah. I think
yeah.
that's one reason why like we do love horror is because we were in high school at that beginning of that renaissance of the 80s horror, you
Mm-hmm.
know, where you had the Friday
Yeah.
the 13th and the Halloweens and all of that. And I think that's why we love the horror so much is that shift, that almost renaissance in the modern horror, you know,
What do you think of what's
tale.
happening? Because what do you think of because 80s horror is this, and there's an homage to it a little bit in this, meaning, uh, okay, like a Midsommar. I watched that and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I ended up, did like the film, but I was going, what the hell is going on? Where, nobody's
Yeah.
jumping out, nothing.
Yeah.
And, and then they have a smorgasbord of violence somewhere, but it's where I go, okay, there's my 80s fix a little bit, like in the
Yeah.
sense of, you got to get out there
Sure,
and do something,
Yeah.
So they're not ignoring us, but they're definitely slow walking it. Whereas in the 80s, they owed.
Yeah.
They owed, man.
Definitely. Because I remember my dad and I, that was our thing was horror movies.
Yeah.
We were the only two people in the family that wanted to see all those horror movies. And we were always like, oh, Tom Savini did the special effects. This is gonna rock. This is gonna rock if Tom Savini did. And then I met Tom Savini. And
What film did he do? What's the
Tom Savini was the original Friday the 13th special effects guy.
Mhm.
And like one thing that people I don't think really noticed is when the mom got her head cut off.
Mhm.
If you look at her hands when they cut the head off and you look at her hands, they're man hands because it's him. Those are his hands. And so yeah.
He also did Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, he did Dawn of the
That was
Dead.
like the original.
Yeah, he did the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Directed that one.
Directed that one. Yeah, he just go back to 80s horror and look for Tom Savini special effects because he trained like Greg Nicotero that does The Walking Dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he got
it's where he got a lot of the practical effects.
And that's so he's still here in a way, even though Walking Dead's off. He's related to that.
And he has a school in Pennsylvania where he teaches the practical effects because you can have all the CGI in the world. You need some practical effects in this world.
Our guy is Jerry Constantine, and he got an Academy Award for Benjamin Button. He's doing like a lot of network and streaming shows, and I think I did one horror film where I won't even say the title because it's good, but it's the spoiler of it, but someone can find it. The people are thinking it's a haunted house. A couple. They're really being, what's the alien thing where the aliens come down and claim your body, whatever.
Okay.
So
Body snatchers. Yeah.
They're being, when you're being visited by aliens and you and experimenting with you. Yes. So it turns from being a ghost story to an alien abduction. In there with his sleep. And so they're out in the field and we needed a cow because we wanted to show the cow has been laser cut and laying out, like, their farm is being affected. So kills this whole cow with the guts, like laser cut out and he did it, like we did it. I'll never forget. It was such it made our film look bigger budget than it was.
Sure.
But that practical. We were thinking all this that we were doing, but the audience's response to the practical, it's what we know. Again, the Gen X thing, it's what we know.
Yes.
It's really there. I don't know. We all went roaming as kids and saw stuff in real time. We all saw the roadkill. The bigger road. You know what I mean? I don't know what kids are. We explored, so we know how to. I walk the train track. Stand by me. You know. So we need people.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. I know we were when the street lights come on, you better come home generation, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
When what stage is Watson again? I'm sorry.
Is it?
We're shooting. It's April now, so towards the end of next month, we'll be in prep.
Sweet.
Awesome.
You'll see it Halloween.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay? We're finishing it. Whatever happens, we're finishing it, and So what we're exploring on the thing, the fun of it is the new element is the succubus.
Yeah.
But usually you know, of course, they say the fear of woman. I mean, it's it's sort of the fear of arousal, the fear not that directly, because it's PG rather than anything crazy, but the fear of what men exploit women for. Oh, she's attractive, and therefore I can. That'll get you killed, and that'll get you killed. So it's going to be a confusing film for men, in the sense of hard men meet women you don't play with.
Yes.
And Anthony Michael Hall. We gonna get. I shouldn't say names. He's gonna kill me because it hasn't a thing. But at the same time, let's just say dreaming. Lock it. But looking forward to him if that locks, because of I don't know why. I just love him. I love his
yes.
quippy,
Very underrated.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Very underrated. Very.
And that not true, but he relates somehow. So it's I'm looking forward to that. And let me throw this away. But and then Bill Duke, all these names, I guess, that we're playing with. You'll see the context. Everyone is specifically chosen. The element is if they get you, you age by about 40 years. So you come into this town. I'm missing all the elements, but I don't want to spoil everything.
Yeah.
But you see very, very old men sitting on porches and young men. And these are stragglers that have come into the town who are probably 20-something years old. There's a lot of, and if you mess with these women, they don't just kill you. They drain your energy immediately. You are now 80, young 27-year-old, and now you're sitting on the porch. Warn people not to.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. One thing I love to do with people, sort of as a wrap up, is we're gonna let you dream a little bit. Studio is going to give you unlimited budget, unlimited control on a project. You can do whatever kind of movie you want. You can cast whoever you want. You are in complete control, and they will just give you all the money you want. What kind of movie would you make, and what would your dream cast be?
Such a good question. Look at you. And I'm on 7 projects right now, so I have this plan. But your question goes even wrong. It goes to like the 8th film I haven't dreamed up yet. So I'm not even going to what I know. I always, Sarah, move towards again, try not to be that person that goes, I will now do the brilliant thing. Or I've been thinking of like if a script is written, that's why I love that draft. The scripts that I have ready to go are my drafts that are on the trees, and I'm going to honor them and make them. But even still, to answer your question, it's what's going on now. And then it's what itch needs to be scratched now, because it's a little thing. It's a little consciousness thing where it's like, what are we collectively, to the best of my knowledge, hoping for? That's my starting writing process. We need to honor women more. We need to honor ourselves more. We need to stop thinking so low of ourselves so we can treat each other, whatever that is. And I'll probably do a horror film because fear and anger wakes us up for change. but that's why I like the A24 movement right now, because they say, oh, there needs to be something under these horrors. I feel like they're overdoing it a bit. We need to go a little bit more 80s and, jumps more, or not jumps, but fear rather than just, wow, I'm thoughtful. But Dreamcast, Jeffrey Wright,
Yes, yes.
what's her name from Severance? Is this the highest thing I've seen in so long? Blonde hair, Arquette, but like
Yeah.
people who
Okay.
they're like in walking the walking meditation thing. So the people that are brilliant in their, what I learned from Second City, because the best thing I learned at Second City, Robin Duke taught a dramatic class,
Really?
improv, and that blew my mind, Ian. And I like it taught me that people coming from that same thing, not to make a laugh, but to what are you really thinking right now? Someone just gave you something, and dig deeper. So
Yeah.
I love actors like Jeffrey Wright, Patricia, that they don't know what they're going to do next, even with the script.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so I would just put as many people like that together. That's also why I like Anthony, because he has a look like, I don't know what I'm going to do. What'd you just say? And he has his lines.
Yeah.
So thinking brave actors like that, aligning as
Awesome.
many of them as I can, and creating an entity that embodies the mess that we as a collective should be facing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that'll make me want to write the next one as soon as I sniff something like that. And then it is that, and yeah. And so horror. I wrote a love story where this small film I did, I was really proud of. A love story where people remember that they've, in past lives, they've been in love before, and this is the last time. They don't want to come back to Earth. So it was this time jumping love story. That was fun, but didn't make any money. And I got, I wrote my poetry. I
Yeah.
think I like the horror genre because I can touch the collective in a more confident, to be responded to way.
Okay. I would say we were talking about your dream project
Yes.
and Dreamcast, which Jeffrey Wright is so totally underrated. I absolutely love him. It's
Mhm.
like everything he does, he brings you 100%. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that man. Um, I'm trying to think because now I've gotten all discombobulated. Okay. So your project Black Panthers of World War II is on Apple, correct? Is there anything else? Like, this is your time to
Yeah.
promote yourself.
Yes. Go ahead and plug away.
Um, the okay. As far as a filmmaker, I have several films out that are streamable. Runt, my very first film, and ultimately, I'll always call it like my bravest film because it's autobiographical. That's the adaptation of the play that was in Scotland.
Yeah.
That's on. That's father son and the demon that haunts them, and the son, the son having a baby boy and wanting to make it, but in a realistic way, to go, how do you take up the strengths of where you come from rather than being angry at anything.
Yes.
And then I have a project also on Tubi that's all called Sides, that's back to that improv thing of a production company, a film company that ran out of money. They partied it away, and they borrowed the money from a loan shark to finance their film.
That sounds
And
good.
so they have to call the actors during the audition. They're making the film during the audition process. It's fun because it's all in one location. It's at the spot, but it's a house there, and Coolio's in it, and he's brilliant. He's just
Love Coolio.
and he figures them out, but while they have to have a star, so they figure a way to get the star in the audition chair. And he's, what's happening here? And that's the whole thing. It's hidden cameras and whatnot. And then the Last Life film that I'm proud of, just because it's my thing at a love story through the ages. I used to secretly love stories. Don't tell anybody. So just where does love take you? And then documentaries I'm very proud of. Who Are the Scooby Brothers? ex-cons that live South Central. They basically rule South Central. They're in their 60s now, who roller skate every week. And that's, no matter what happens in life, they're going to go to the roller rink and be styled like I've never seen. And so they're
Wow.
live and they come back to the roller rink and style. Weed, whatever, sales, police, roller skating. I love that film. That's out there. And then, and then going to Jamaica to do this. I guess that'll be my next, after Watson's will be a big one called Dark, which is a horror in Jamaica during hurricane season. An American Black man inherits a property in Jamaica, goes back to claim it, and the bloodline of his family raises, just by stepping on the property, all these ghosts come up because they've been waiting. And that one I'm going to be scared to make.
I say that one sounds like real. I mean, real fun. That's not really a word. Good. I mean, that one is, so many things can be brought up with that one, with the bloodline.
Oh,
and
yeah,
yes,
definitely. Oh,
yes.
I've rewritten it 3 good, like page 1 rewrite because of what you just said. There's so much here. The first version was good. I got Lionsgate interested and all that stuff. But then per what you said, I said, there's more here. Like when you do bloodlines and inheritance and inheriting money is one thing, but what do you inherit is a question we all ask.
Yes.
And so deep exploration of that. I'm looking forward to that's going to be penultimate. That's going to be something, I'll be, after I finish that, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder, making sure God doesn't say, time to go, but anyway, because I've inherited property to make a property I haven't seen yet. And I knew I was going to before my father passed, but I wrote it years ago going, what if it's haunted?
Okay.
And so it's time haunted element. So that one's going to be scary. They laugh. It's funny. There are jokes in it, but not like Watson's. That one's a straight slippery slope into some terror.
Yeah. Oh, so, I'm looking forward to that one. Yes, I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for that one because the whole you've inherited. What have you inherited? And it
goes back to who are you?
Yeah.
You have to, the who are you question is eternal and until the last day.
Yes.
And you always be surprised, which is fun. That's the fun, is we're going to be surprised by who we are.
That's true.
And then
yes,
I'm going back to improv. A group I was in the 90s is having a reunion. I'm going back to Egypt. And we're all from different places. Folks have worked in movies and done stuff, but we all just want to go back in the room and just do it again.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah.
All the cream, an all-black improv company.
There you go. There you go.
And the theater. I'm a theater guy. I've gotten the plays. I miss it. I'm way into film now, but I look forward to also doing. I'm thinking of theater different too. Like I used to, I've got to get everybody. If the theater isn't full, I'm thinking those who have ears to listen. I'm gonna write some stuff that's obviously gonna hit an audience. But I even want to create this thing where I invite people. I'm not even sure I want to charge.
Okay.
Set some food out. And I'm 2006. I'm thinking, because I love the change that's going on. After COVID, everything is different. And I want to exploit it a little bit.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that way. TikTok has done things and people are even what we're doing. We're not trying to get this on NBC. This is just us and the people watching. I think it's beautiful that we're localizing and just figuring out frequencies rather than trying to blow everybody away all the time.
Yeah.
Authentic works.
Yeah. Well, you sound like a super busy. Do you sleep? I mean, it just sounds like you don't have any time for sleep with all the projects you've got in the air.
My Gen Xer sister, if you are, it gets easier as you get older to multitask. So I would never rob myself of sleep, except you get up in the morning and I realize from second I wake up, drinking coffee, I'm already halfway through working the day because our brain just,
Yeah.
Yes.
we take coffee while we sleep. It gets easier, which I'll say. If I was 30, 40, I'd be like, oh, and then I'm not doing that to myself ever.
Yeah, I know. But I
Yeah.
still, like, every once in a while, it's like I need to shut my brain off. So I'm going to write it all down. So I've got it all written down. So in the morning, I can be like, okay, this is all the stuff I was worrying about last night that I couldn't shut
Yes.
my brain off for.
What
Now let's deal with it. I've had some sleep. I've got my coffee. Let's do this. So,
what
yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're like me in as much as that you have so many ideas that you can't turn them off. As in you have like little scribbles of notes of all these different
Yeah.
projects that you want to do that you can never get to, but your brain keeps writing down new ones and you'll even like flesh some out in some capacity, but you just can't turn it off and you just got to basically make yourself go to sleep.
You ever done the artist's way
No.
or heard of the artist's way?
Mm-mm.
What's the Scorsese's wife wrote this book where since '90s, write. Like if Google Docs crashes, I'm doomed. Because what you just said, Ian, is writing. I write for no reason all the time and just write the idea down in the notes.
Yes.
And if I know it's there in that cloud, I can come closer to doing that. I can shut it down. And then the other one is I'm pretty prolific in a habit way. I think I've written more than 100 screenplays at this point. I used to write for people like ghostwrite. I write, and I'm very fast because it's visual to me, and then get better at typing the words.
Yes.
But the idea is always boom, A, B, C. And what I'm learning now is I'm no matter what the genre, I go, oh, I'm telling the same story over and over again, but no one would ever know. So it becomes unified. So I think of it as one thing. Um,
I get
in
that.
my head, and
Okay.
it helps my, because here we are, it helps my blood pressure. Like if I feel like I'm going north, east keeps me busy, and there's 8 things east, and it's rather than going north, south, east, west all over the place. I'm starting to see that, eat your food, go relax. Those 5 things are one thing, and
Okay.
you'll see when you're there. That's what's happening now. That's the new thing. That's 2020, end of 24, 25, because that's the thing I really literally have to focus on at my age now, not getting too excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Because I'll have like friends and stuff be like, hey, you want to get into this, that, and the other. Is like, I got to focus on getting this one thing done. Like instead of just jumping onto this project, this project, this project, this project, because it all sounds so much fun. You just want to get so much into all these different ideas and projects and stuff that you can't. And you got to kind of make yourself focus on getting done what you can get done.
True, true. No
So,
scattering. Fun, but fun. I like that word fun, though. Like
oh
fun will
yeah,
call me. Fun
oh
doesn't trouble
yeah.
me. Yeah, the
Yeah.
work of the discipline. And if it's work and uphill, then I've got to measure it. But if it's fun, even if it's harder work, but it's fun, I might be okay. I'm watching that blood pressure.
Yeah.
I definitely get that.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take that
Mm,
side that tangent. Sometimes you have to take that quick tangent and get that out of your system. So yeah, I get that
yes,
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
sir.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How are you doing? I love you too, by the way. No, you're giving it, it's such a beautiful, I'm really enjoying this. I'm learning to do that too, going, this is nice. So really good talking to you.
I'd say we've
Later.
had seriously so much fun talking to you. If you ever need anybody to play Dead Body number 3, call. Um, it's a goal of mine. I love like all the CSIs and Criminal Minds and all that. And I'm like, I just want to play Dead Body number 3. I don't
Well,
want to be the killer. I don't
well,
want to be,
once you do your first screen death, that's
yeah.
the best.
I just,
You always remember your first screen death.
yeah, I just want to be on the autopsy table with them going, well, he really messed her up, didn't he? And me just laying there with blood all over me. That's what I want. It's my dream. So,
Are you both actors?
huh? We both have theater
Are you both
background.
actors?
Yeah, we both
Oh
have a
yeah.
theater background. he actually majored in,
Yes, I do have a degree in theater.
yeah, that he's not using because
Yes.
that's how the world works.
Well, I mean, I've had
I
like a couple successes, but nothing that really like justified the money spent.
Yeah.
So at least at this point.
do you find, because I'm a BFA theater performance grad too,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and I acted, but I don't anymore. And I love it. And it seems like we both have a love for it. But my classmates, like Facebook, when we connect, we learn all those breathing exercises, all that thinking, it helps us in our life skills. Oh, that's what we observed, when we united. Do you find that, or do you find that the actor training
It
adapts to?
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Especially I want to say improv because even though I don't do that on stage, I've used it for characters, but as far as real life, I was a flight attendant for the longest time, and that's all it is a big improv session with whatever's going on in the cabin at this point. You're just yes and you run with it. So it's
yeah,
definitely, and the breathing exercises definitely help too, and with meditation and being able to
definitely.
keep yourself centered the best that you can. It definitely helps me.
Yeah, and he's also discovered because my parents, my father taught high school here for 36 years. My mom was heavy into politics in our
Respect.
area. I have people walk up to me that think I know them because they know my parents, and I have no freaking clue who this person is. None
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. But that's where that theater training comes in of I can hold at least a 5 minute conversation with you on
Presence.
absolutely nothing, but I can come up with at least 5 minutes worth of conversation with you and then be like, oh, I see my family over there. I need to go join them. And
Right.
he has learned if I don't introduce you right away, I have no freaking clue who this person is.
And just roll with
And
it.
just roll with it, and he'll roll with it. Or sometimes he'll save me and be like, "Oh, my wife is super rude and didn't introduce me. I'm her husband, Ian." And then sometimes that person will introduce themselves, and I'll be like, "Oh,
That's
yes,
it.
that's who you are." Or other times
Oh.
I'll be like, "I still have no clue who this person is," and we'll just keep rolling for at least 5 minutes, and then it's like, okay, ooh, look at the time, football game's getting ready to start, or whatever it is. We got to. But yeah, improv skills, and I work with special needs kids at the high school level. Improv
Okay.
skills come in
Yes.
hard for that, and the breathing, because there are times when it's just like, okay, I need to just
Mhm.
get myself, not today, Satan. Yeah,
Well, not only that, but
and
I would
just
say scene goals as well helps when you're dealing with people on a regular basis, but you don't have the natural inclination to see where this person's going with the conversation, and then you can kind of take a step and kind of go around what they're saying. Is like, oh, this is the goals that they're trying to meet. It's
Yes.
like, am I going to go ahead and is that okay if they do that? Or if it's, oh, I don't want them to meet that goal. And you can, but it's not a lot of people have that natural ability to do that and be in the moment with that and not think about it. When you have people like me who don't get what you're trying to do, I'm just trying to communicate on face value and I don't understand what's going on subtextually.
yeah,
But
I
with my
love
training,
that.
it helps.
yeah,
The the key words, the elements of relating with people, understanding. You
hmm,
just used that word. It was coming up in my head is the skill of the skill. Simple sentence. The skill of understanding. You can get Schwarzenegger strong with that in a spiritual level.
Mm,
It's like,
yeah,
ah, like, why is that? I always say, I tell my kids, uh, with an adult or anything coming at you, is ask yourself why the baby's crying. And I say that because I learned that with my kids when they're, used to teach kids. I used to be a nanny, and I for a little bit, and and it helps me as a director too, because I'll want what I want. Or on this, whether behind the camera, in front of the camera, someone will come at me with contention. And that skill that you spoke of is, or even you talk about, like when I
yeah.
smiled when you're on the plane, someone's they're afraid of flying and whatever, and they're ridiculous to you.
Mhm.
And your power of understanding, your yes and power. That's why I smile, because I go,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. What's really happening here? That ability to stop time
Mhm.
and understand. I think that's a muscle.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just nose to nose and ready to, ready to
Yeah,
conflict.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to understand what's really going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely helps.
Yeah. Because it's
with
like
that.
for every meltdown there is, the one thing that they're having the meltdown over is not the thing that's really causing the meltdown. There's 45 things that played into it, and this one thing is just what flipped that switch. So it's
And
like, all right,
I've
let's,
been protected, and I've protected because I've been the person.
yeah,
Mm.
And
trust.
the only thing I'm proud of in my recovery is, oh, I'm being an ass right now. Back up. My fingers hurt and I'm ready to bite everybody.
Yeah.
Back up.
Yeah.
Fingers legit hurt though. Fingers legit hurt.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
do I do this for the day?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Art helped our real lives, is I guess this chapter.
Yes.
Art
Oh yeah.
helps.
Exactly. Oh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It comes into play frequently. Yes. All the time. So, well, I could talk for like 5 more hours with you.
Oh my God. Yes.
But real life is going to interrupt us in a minute because, our daughter's going to need us. So,
Lunch and whatnot.
yeah, or dinner here in a minute. So, but yeah, this has been Michael Philip Edwards, and you said you have stuff on Tubi, you have stuff on Apple TV,
Amazon, and yeah, it's like Google me and you'll appear there. Look for the Watsons this fall, Halloween, in production in prep now. We're very excited. There's a few films from my company is MPE Films LLC.
Yes,
and,
thank you for saying that. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. These films are going to be coming out over the next few years, and per this discussion, you see where I'm coming from. It's how can we as a collective scare the hell out of each other in order to get to a higher understanding of joy to coexist.
Yeah. I like that. There you go. Soundbite right there.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yes. Love it. Well, we have had a great time talking to you. Definitely when you have new projects that you want to promote,
contact us.
Contact us.
This is I could talk about like Second City and everything else that's gone up until what he's doing now, like all day. If we definitely have to have a second interview.
Yes,
and
yes,
get
definitely.
Some of the other stuff. So yes,
definitely, you are always welcome.
Thank you.
You're always welcome Sarah, on our couch.
Where are you? Where are you, by the way? What part of the country?
We're in Indiana. Yeah, we are in Indiana. We're those tiny blue dots in Indiana, if you know what I mean.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
We call ourselves the unicorns because, there's not a lot of us, but we're there. We're there. Trying to hold it together. Yes, trying to hold it together. So,
yeah. Come back and talk
anything.
Theater, whatever you want to talk about.
Yes.
We're down for it.
Yes, definitely. This has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Love you guys, and nice to meet you, and see you soon. Thank you for this.
Definitely. Thank you.
Hey guys.
Hey, so interview with Michael Philip Edwards. Three names always trick me up. Awesome interview. Love that guy. Definitely want to have him back.
Oh yeah, and definitely go see his movies that he has out. They look really good from the trailers.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Watsons and
him come back on and talk about it.
Yeah, and then oh god, I forgot the title of the one that's in Jamaica with the guy that inherited property. That one looks really cool. Can't wait for that either. But yeah, definitely gonna have to have him back. So on to the next interview.